Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're gonna go over backing up your account. And this is, I wanted to do this for a long time, this Monster Strike 101 series, where we're just going over the basics of the game. And I noticed a lot of people recently was asking about this, so I thought I'd do it up right now before the year's end because it is actually quite an important thing to just get under your belt and make sure you have it. And there was an update recently that allowed you to link to your Gmail or your Apple email directly, which does make this a little bit easier as well. So why not? I just turned it out real quick, and let's go over the basics here and make sure that you don't miss out on backing up your account because well, let's go to the next slide. This is quite important. This is your lifeline in case your phone that you're using or tablet, could be lost, could be destroyed, could become unusable in many different ways. It's a way to make sure that you can get your account again because there's a lot of precious hours that you put into this game that would be terrible if you lost. Also, if you're just starting the game, this is a great way to save your progress when you're doing the reset marathon, right? Just if you have a good pull and be like, I could stop, but I still have some free time and I want to keep doing the reset marathon. Back up that account, save it to an email, and then you're good. And keep going. And if you're like, I am sick and tired of that old account, I like that, go ahead and bring that backup back in, and you're good to go. Also note that if this is your first time doing this, you have a mission available probably in your mission box that gives you one orb. Again, I apologize if that's not the case, but I'm pretty sure when you started account and when I did my old, new tablet thing, it did have a mission for that. So it's an orb that's worth it. And they do occasionally ask you to back up your account. So it'll come up once in a while. So easy. Now this is a big thing that has changed recently. If you have not done a backup account in a while, they have transferred over from an XFLAG ID to a MIXI ID. And those two are not the same things. If you have done a backup before, there's a chance you did it with an XFLAG ID. And those are now retired. As of the recording of this video, and I doubt they will ever, stop allowing you to use an XFLAG ID account because that's just something anybody who used to have one is going to be relying on that, right? So I doubt it's ever going to be retired, but the important thing to note is you can recover an account from an XFLAG ID, I believe, but you can no longer make a backup with an XFLAG ID. You have to use the MIXI ID. And this is just something that, when I saw the emails, like, it's like, oh, right. I still haven't made a MIXI ID before. You might get a little bit of a heart attack when it says, there's no account, MIXI ID account that was found for this email. That's a little bit scary. I highly suggest you make a MIXI ID now so that you don't get into that situation and have troubles. Because I honestly don't know what the steps are to get an XFLAG ID account back anymore. And that's not covered in this video. So if you just want to not have to deal with issues, just make that MIXI ID route now. And so let's go in game and see how you do that. You can click the Sonota button right on the bottom right, the question mark, and that opens you this window. And then there is a slightly yellowish button that you can see from the top, fifth from the top, and that will allow you to go to the backup menu. Once you click that, you'll go to the second screen, which has two buttons, and there's one in a red color. That is the button to start the backup process. And then your third screen there on the right will ask you, all right, we're gonna start the backup process. We're gonna open a browser. Make sure you're okay with that. And are you ready? Hit the hi button on the left, and then that will allow you to go through the MIXI ID creation process. Now, the good thing about this page is that this page can be translated into English or Chinese. If that's a language that you are more familiar with versus Japanese, great. That's going to make things easier for you. I have the example in English. This was already in English by the time I opened up the page. So you might not need to do anything. If you do need to change the language, just scroll the page all the way to the bottom, and then you will see a language option to change there. Now, let me reiterate from my previous slide that an XFLAG ID is not the same as a MIXI ID. If you have not gone through the process to make a new MIXI ID, you need to make it first, right? So that's why you see on the screen here, not putting in your phone number, not putting in your email address to log into an existing account, but rather going into the bottom and clicking new registration, all right? And let me show you, right? This is the email that you are going to get if you try to log in before creating an account. You'll get an email saying this email cannot be used to log in as it's currently not registered to a MIXI ID. Please create a new account. And again, this is like a mini heart attack here waiting for you if you're not expecting it, right? It's like, but I backed up before. What's going on? No, you haven't made a MIXI ID. So please make sure you do that. So let's go back here, right? You click that new registration account here and you'll see this. You can type in your email address, or you can just use this new auto login through Google and Apple. That's a new feature recently and it is nice. Now, I will note that for me, once I did that, it actually switched back to Japanese. So, you know, right here you see, right? It came out to here. And so again, you see that language menu on the bottom. I actually took a screenshot of that this time, which is nice. You can click that now, and then that'll allow you to go back into English, which is great, right? This is what you want to see. So once you have select, I picked my Google Gmail account to connect to, and then it'll ask you which email account you want to link to. Are you okay with MIXI ID registering with your Gmail account so that you can log in quickly? And then you say yes, I want to register my account there, and then it'll just ask for permissions, right? And it's asking for your email address. Great. Minimal level of permissions needed so that you can do your work. You can confirm on the bottom black bar there that that's the email you want to connect to, and then you're set. Now, if you do end up using the old menu, right, where it's asking you to type in an email address, like maybe you have a Yahoo email instead, or you're using your ISP email, don't do that. If that's the email you prefer, I do believe you need to go through the confirmation email step. They'll give you a 6-number code. You have to get that from your email, type it in, and then you're good. That's how I remember it in the past, but now that I've actually tried the Google linking service, it's quite seamless. I did not have to do that, which is cool. So again, another reason to take advantage of the third-party login. And so once you do that and say, yeah, I'm allowing you to look at my email so that we can link it there, you will go back in game and see on the right screen, hey, here's your friend ID, here is your MIXI ID, your backup has been completed. You'll also get an email, and for me it was also in English, right? So that's great to see as well. You'll have your friend ID, you'll have your MIXI ID, and this is also a great way to confirm which email did I send my backup in, right? You can see from the highlighting that I just searched my Gmail for MIXI ID, and I was able to find it really easy. So this is a great way, a secondary way to back up your account. I always take a screenshot when I back up as well, so it's all on my phone. The email has my account details so that I don't forget which email address I backed up with. And that's it. That is super simple, super straightforward, and something that you can do in minutes. So please don't miss out on that. Now, last thing before we go is, when should I back up? And technically, once you've created, once you're set, you do not need to back up once again. But there is one reason why you want to back up. And I'm not sure if this is still the case. This is just something that I dealt with a few years ago, but it's something that just don't want to deal with. Any new monsters that you get from the last backup to when you do the recovery don't have their lock state saved, and so Again, this is assuming nothing has changed the last time I ran into it, but I remember that being a pain in the butt. And that was before we had the ability to mass lock monsters, so it was even worse then. It might be a little bit better now, but again, you don't want to waste your time locking your monsters again. So, I would suggest after the New Year's hits, you're going to pull a lot of monsters. That's a great time to do another backup. The other time I would suggest to do a backup is when there's a new mission saying, hey, you should back up your account. That is MIXI telling you, hey, there's probably something big going on behind the scenes. Might not be a bad idea to back up your account again. As a developer, if somebody's telling you to back up your account, it's probably a good idea to follow what they're saying. So, in general, my rule of thumb is when there's a mission to back up your account, that's the time to back up your account. When you do an insane amount of pulls, that's also a good time to do a backup of your account. Up to you to decide, but I highly recommend you at least back it up once. And if you haven't done so since we've transferred from XFLAG ID to MIXI ID, go take the time and do it now. It just cannot hurt and is only beneficial for you. So there you go. That's it for this first edition of your Monster Strike 101 series. Hopefully that allows you to back up your account without problems. If you have any issues, do let me know in the comments below. Obviously, I don't have any iPhone, Apple devices in my possession, so I can't go through the steps there. But I was able to go through the Gmail process, and I believe the steps I talked about earlier for non-Apple Gmail emails is just doing a standard confirmation code thing, which I saw in my email history before. So that's probably how you do it then. So again, questions below, let me know. And if you like what you saw, like and subscribe to the channel, ENGMonst on Twitter/X, and of course the Discord channel is in the description below. That's it for me today. Until next time, bye bye.